guys, today we are going to discuss about Cognizant Gen Z verbal ability. As we know that Cognizant has now launched Gen Z and Gen Z Elevate as well. Today, for this particular video, we are going to discuss about only Gen Z verbal ability. All right. So to start off with the details of this section, we know that there are going to be a total of 15 to 25 questions. All right. Yes, we do not know the exact number, but the number or the quantity can range between 15 to 25 questions. The time limit that is given to you is 60 to 90 minutes. All right. Now, this is not a sectional time limit. It's an overall round time limit, a combined time limit, where you have to solve all the questions from various sections together. All right, so there can be 6 to 7 sections and the total combined time limit is 60 to 90 minutes. All right, to talk about the platform, it is now going to be held on Metal, right? Hence, the difficulty we can say can be based from medium to medium high. All right, medium to medium high. Now, for negative marking, there is no negative marking and there is a sectional cutoff. All right. Now, what is a sectional cutoff? That means, for example, let's say from 15 to 25, they have given you 20 questions. So you have to at least get minimum of 15 to 16 questions correct, right? To pass that section. If you fail to do that, your marks can be deducted and might result into you not being selected. All right. So 15 to 25 questions, 60 to 90 minutes combined on Metal, difficulty medium to medium high. No negative marking, and there is a sectional cutoff. So this is a brief detail about Cognizant Gen Z verbal ability section. Let's move forward. So, okay, top 3 commenters on this video will be getting free access to PrepInsta Prime, that is a newly launched website. All right. So if you comment something good on this particular video, we are going to pick 3 winners who will be getting free access to the PrepInsta Prime. Also, you are not just getting free access to PrepInsta Prime, but also Royal Pass access for that particular period on PrepInsta as well, right? So it's a double win situation. So start brainstorming. You can comment anything about, let's say, some good query that you have from us. Let's say you can, comment about some good solutions for the questions that can be asked in this video, or some doubts, or let's say your experience on PrepInsta, or anything that is relative to this video, or something that you want to know from our team, from our side. All right, so you can comment anything great and we will get back to you. We declare the winners on Instagram and Discord every Friday, so make sure that you are there following us, so that if we pick you and you are the winner, you know that you are the winner then. All right, so let's move ahead. Okay, so social media. If you are not following us on all social media handles, do follow us on our Instagram, Discord, Facebook, WhatsApp, and Telegram. Because this is towards the last quarter, and in this quarter, most of the companies start their hiring. So if you don't want to miss any opportunity of being hired, do follow us on all social media handles so that you know when and which company is hiring and you can apply for the same. All right, so don't forget to don't forget to follow us on our social media handles. The links are in the description for you. All right, so before moving forward, I would like to just give you a small snippet of what PrepInsta Prime is. We will get into the details later in the video, but let me just quickly show you how PrepInsta Prime looks like. All right, just the outer looks. So this is our website. As you can see, we have started off with a cool trailer. Then we have the course list, and then we have all of the material, but we'll get to it later. Now, if you see this website, all right, I want to make this clear to you. If you see this website, you clearly think of Netflix because it's, it looks like that, all right? But if you are comparing it with Netflix, let me tell you, the model is also based on Netflix. That is, if you subscribe to our PrepInsta Prime, let's say for a year, all right, you are going to get everything from A to Z, everything that is present on this website at your hand. You will not have to pay any single penny extra to get a particular course or a skill or any experience, interview experiences, or any certifications as well. All right, so that is the premium feel of this website. If you purchase it or if you subscribe to it for a particular period, one, you are getting Prepping Star Royal Pass access, and second, you are getting everything in just one place to prepare for. For example, you wanted to prepare for, let's say, only Cognizant and you subscribe to it, you are going to get material to prepare for other companies as well. And there are 50 plus companies and 50 plus courses for you to learn from. All right, so that is the basic structure that we opted for the students. And yes, now let's just move ahead with the questions and we'll talk about it in details later in the video. Okay, so all right, so what are the topics that are asked in Cognizant? You can experience topics from grammar, that is speech conversion, voice conversion, or error identification, or jumbled passages, and you also have reading comprehension. All right, so it's a combination of grammar plus reading comprehension. Excuse me. Let's move ahead. We are going to discuss 10 questions. What you can do with me is I'll present a question to you and you can pause the video there, start a timer for yourself, let's say for around 30 to 40 seconds, and then try to solve the question on yourself. All right. Once you are done with that, resume the video and see along with me what the answer is, because I'll be explaining it properly in the next part. All right. So let's start off with it. First question is a fill in the blank or a sentence completion question. Fill in the blank with an appropriate option to make the sentence grammatically correct. It is extremely important for caregivers and doctors to analyze the BMI of patients and suggest the dash and modalities in managing patients. Options are experience, diagnosis, technology, and surgery. All right. So what you have to do is use a word that can be replaced with the blank to make it a proper sentence. All right. So it's a sentence completion kind of a question. So yes, you can pause the video right over here, try to solve it on your own, and then we'll move forward with the answer. Okay, I hope you are done, and now let me begin with the answer. It is extremely important for caregivers and doctors to analyze the BMI of patients and suggest the dash and modalities in managing patients. So we have two nouns over here. What are those? Dash and modalities. All right, now what are modalities? Modalities are ways, all right? Modalities, as we can see from the word itself, mode or modal, that is ways. Ways of managing patients or ways of treatment that can help manage the patients, all right? So suggest the dash. Can you suggest an experience to a patient? No. Can you suggest a technology to a patient? No. You can suggest treatment, but not technology. Can you suggest a surgery to a patient? Yes, you can. But in this case, for the BMI, there is no surgery, right? If you're talking about BMI, body mass index, you cannot give a surgery to it. You cannot provide a surgery to it. But what you can do is you can provide a diagnosis of it, right? Like through whether the BMI of the patient is low or is high. And if it is high, what are the reasons? If it is low, then what are the reasons? That is known as the diagnosis of BMI. All right, so we are going to diagnose and modelize it and not surgery, technology, or experience it. All right, so we are going to use option B as the answer, that is diagnosis. So it is extremely important for caregivers and doctors to analyze the BMI of patients and suggest the diagnosis and modalities in managing patients. That means you need to understand if it is high or low, why, the reason, and how, that is modalities of how you can manage it. All right. So option B is the answer. Let's move ahead now. A part of the sentence is underlined below. Choose an option that can replace the part and correct the sentence. So this is a part of sentence correction. Excuse me. It's a part of sentence correction question. So let's read the question first, the options, and then you can move ahead with solving it. The speech that he has written is not only erroneous, but too lengthy. Options are, is not only erroneous but also too lengthy, is erroneous but too lengthy, is erroneous only but too lengthy, or no correction needed. All right. So pause the video. Please try and solve it, and then we can move forward with the answer. Okay, so let's move ahead now. The speech that he has written is not only erroneous but too lengthy. So we have to either change this underlined phrase, or we can leave it just like that if it is correct. So the first thing, we have used not only, right? So if you go along with the rules, the conjunction not only is always followed by but also. All right. Whenever you are using not only in a sentence, you will have to use but also in the like part in the second part of it. All right, in the progressing part of it. So you have to use these two conjunctions together. All right, you cannot leave them apart, or you cannot just use one part of it and eliminate the other. So the only option that is using both of it is option A, right? Is not only erroneous but also too lengthy. All right, so we can say that only option A can be the answer because it is using both the part of the conjunction completely. Option B is erroneous but too lengthy, only first part. Is erroneous only but too lengthy? No. And no correction needed? No, because it is erroneous. It is wrong, right? So we have to use is not only erroneous but also too lengthy. All right. So we have to go with option A as the correct answer. Okay, let's move ahead with the third question. Choose the correct sequence of the giving words or phrases so that it forms a logical sentence. Sentence 1 and 6 are given to you. All right, so it is a kind of a para jumble or a paragraph ordering sentence or question. So S1 and S6 are given to us, and we have to arrange P, Q, R, S properly. All right, so we have P as, so it is parents who are fully responsible for the eating habits among their kids and children, because in childhood they never know and decide that good or bad. Childhood and make them clear about the differences between, they should train their kids about eating habits from. So we have a completely jumbled passage. It is not in a particular order. So what you can do is read the passage, underline the grammar portions which you can connect with each other, try to link the sentences, and then it becomes easy for you to solve and arrange them. All right, so yes, move ahead with the answer and then we'll quickly get on to it together. Okay, let's start solving it now. Parents should be very conscious towards the eating habits of their kids, right? What can come next? Kids and children, because in childhood they never know and decide they're good or bad. So it is parents who are fully responsible for the eating habits among their kids. Full stop. They should train their kids about eating habits from childhood and make them clear about the differences between healthy and junk food. That should be the correct order. All right, so we are going to start off with their kids and children. All right, because this and children will not fit with any other sentence over here. So we can say that R is the first sentence after S1. Decide their good and bad. So it is parents who are fully responsible, right? So we have a, a conditional sentence over here because they don't know their good and bad. So it is parents who are responsible. So consequential order over here, right? So we can say that P should be coming next. Then what do we have? Among their kids, full stop. Now, because we have a full stop, that means the next sentence should start a different meaning. Can you start childhood and make them clear? No, because it's an incomplete sentence. What we should start off with is, they should train their kids about eating habits from childhood. So here we have a period. From when? From childhood. And make them clear about the differences between. Between means two things. And what are the two things? Healthy and junk food. All right. So we see that after P, we can continue with S and then move on to Q. So our answer should be R, P, S, Q, which is correct in option number C. So we have to choose option C as the correct answer. Okay. Okay, guys, so let's just pause over here for a second and understand what we have been doing up until now. We are trying to solve the questions correctly. Yes, that is the first part. But what is the second part? We are also trying to solve the questions quickly because we have a combined time limit. So we cannot, excuse me, we cannot put a lot of time in the verbal section because then we will not be able to attempt the remaining sections. So we have to be very quick. Maximum, let's say 30 seconds for each grammar question. That is why I asked you to start off with the timer so that you can analyze yourself where you are standing, if you can solve it within 30 seconds or not. This is known as analytics. And analytics is very, very important for your performance. And who is providing you the analytics? Prep-Insta is doing that. All right, how are we doing that? First things first, we try to help you understanding your performance in solving a question. So we give you an analytics of your each question, each topic, and each section. Based on that, you can chart yourself or you can rate yourself if your performance is top notch or if you have to improve your performance. Let's take an example if this gets complicated. Let's say you and your friend are sitting for an exam. Let's say for Cognizant itself. So you have 15 questions in hand. You could solve 10 questions and your friend could solve 13 questions. All right. And let's assume that all of those are correct. So who is going to get the interview call? Obviously your friend, because he or she has solved 13 questions out of 15. Yes, because that person was swift and because that person knew how to manage his or her time and how to put everything into place and be quick and correct together. All right. So this is how analytics helps you. It helps you to understand your stand. Now, how do we help you out with it? If you let's say you are practicing a particular question, and if you want to know the analytics, it will show you how many students performed better than you and performed a little less than you. How many students did it correctly and how many students did it wrong. Also, how many, the percentage of students who were quicker than you and the percentage of students who were later than you. All right, so you have all of these percentages in your hand, and we also give you a final product, final result of your analytics. Based on that, you can see how you perform. All right, so there is a quick 30 seconds video that is going to help you understand how we provide analytics to you and how you can access to it, and then we can move forward with the remaining questions. All right. I hope you have watched the video and you liked it and you understood why analytics is very, very important. In fact, right now, because a lot of companies are starting to hire, so you need to be very quick in solving all the questions because the more the better. All right, so make use of all the analytics. So you can go on our prepinsta.com, check out the website and try to understand how analytics work over there. All right. And now let's move ahead with our questions. Out of the four alternatives, choose the one which best expresses the meaning of the given word. All right. So this is based on synonym because it asks meaning of the word. All right. So you have the word rendezvous and four options are given to you. So start your timer, pause the video, try to solve and understand the meaning of each word, and then we will move on with the answer. All right. So next we have the answer. Like, let's try to solve it. That best expresses the meaning. So it's a synonym. That means we need a word that is, same as the word given to you. So rendezvous. All right. What does rendezvous mean? Rendezvous means a meeting or an appointment. Right? Or an assembly. All right. Rendezvous means to come together for a meeting or for any formal gathering. So, excuse me. Let's talk about the different meaning of the words. Tryst. Tryst again means an appointment or a meeting. All right. Declaration means an announcement. Journey, let's say a trip or travel, all right, and divest. Divest means to stop someone from doing something or stop something from happening. All right, let's say stop or prevent. All right, so we have the four meanings. Now, which meaning, which meaning forms a synonym to the word rendezvous? It is the word tryst, all right, which means an appointment or a meeting. All right, so we are going to go with option A over here because this means the same as the main word rendezvous. That means a meeting, an appointment, or an assembly. So we are going to go with the word tryst. Okay. Next sentence, next question. In the following question, a sentence has been given in active or passive voice. Out of the four alternatives suggested, select the one which best expresses the same sentence in active or passive voice. All right, so a voice sentence has been given to you and you have to translate it in the other voice. So yes, go ahead, pause the video, try to solve it, and then we'll quickly move forward with the main answer. Okay. Let's start off with the answer now. The presiding officer vetoed the committee's decision. All right, so the presiding officer vetoed the committee's decision. A, the committee's decision is vetoed by the presiding officer. The committee's decision was vetoed by the presiding officer. The committee's decision has been vetoed by the presiding officer. Or the committee's decision is being vetoed by the presiding officer. First things first, let's see the tense of this active sentence. This is in past tense. All right. Excuse me. It's in simple past tense. So if you are translating it into passive voice, it has to be in past tense as well, right? It cannot be in present or future. Let's see the options now. The first option is vetoed. What does is mean? Is means present tense, right? Was vetoed, past tense. Has been vetoed. What does has been means? Has been means present, perfect, continuous. Also, for continuous tense, you have to use ing, but this is not using ing, so it's a wrong sentence. Is being vetoed, right? Is being vetoed. Again, this is the wrong form. All right, it is in the present form. So out of all the options, we can see that only option B has used past tense, which is similar to the question. So we are going to use B as the answer over here because it says the committee's decision was vetoed by the presiding officer. To translate into active, the presiding officer vetoed the committee's decision. All right, so we are going to go with option B. Okay. All right, so let's again take a quick pause. As I told you, I'm going to take you into details on our Prep Insta Prime website. So now is the time. Let's just quickly see what Prep Insta Prime is, how you can access, how you can go through it. Okay, so this is our website. All right, get Prep Insta Prime. We have a quick trailer running around here. We have certification. First things, very, very important. We have certifications. We provide certifications from Prep Insta for completing the courses and TCS Ion remote internship certifications as well. What's more? Popular skills. If you want to learn skills, if you want to upgrade your resume, you have popular skills based on artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, ethical hacking, big data, AWS, and much more. You can learn popular languages if you are into languages and you want to learn and you want to upgrade a resume again. You can learn languages C, C++, Java, and Python. Excuse me. If you're into coding, if you're an amateur and you are just at the beginning, you can use basic coding, intermediate coding, and if you are at the higher level, you can use competitive coding and data structures in C, C++, Java, Python as well. All right. We have the aptitude section that has aptitude, quantitative aptitude, logical reasoning, verbal, DI, visual reasoning, script arithmetic, essay writing, game-based aptitude as well. So you can prepare for the entire aptitude section from this part. If you're planning to appear for the platform-based examination, let's say CoCubes and AMCAT, you can do it from here as well because we have separate platform material as well. Companies, if you want to prepare for only Cognizant, you can do it from Cognizant Gen C. But if you're subscribing only for Cognizant, you are also getting other companies along with it. TCS, you are getting Cognizant Gen C, Cognizant Elevate, Gen C Next, LTI, Accenture as well. Excuse me. Then product-based companies, Goldman Sachs, Amazon, Microsoft, Cisco, Oracle, and much more. Interview preparation, if you want to prepare for your interview, you have HR, GD, puzzles, and resume building as well. You have projects that you can create. You have CS subjects that you can, use to prepare. You have coding brush-ups if you want to brush up your coding section, Automatafix and pseudocode, and interview experiences as well. So as I told you, it's a one-stop shop for all the students. So if you want to get one thing, you are getting 100 plus things along with it. All right. So this is our Prep Insta Prime website, and let me quickly show you how you can join it. Right. We have a quick purchasing. Also, to let you know, we are running on heavy discounts right now. And if you don't want to miss out on these discounts, you can right away subscribe to it because we can soon, get back to our initial prices, and initial prices are, very high. For 3 months, you're getting it for 2499, 6 months, 3499, 12 months, 4499, 18 months, 4999, 24 months, 5499, 36 months for 5999, and for 48 months, 6499. You are getting TCS Ion remote internships along with 12 months, 18, 24, 36, and 48 months as well. So if you subscribe to from 12 months, you are going to get TCS Ion remote internship along with it. All right. So it's again, I'm letting you know, it's a win-win situation. If you want to get many more things in just one place and very minimal amount, Prep Insta Prime is for you. Along with it, you're also getting Royal Pass access of Prep Insta. So yes, you have gotten, if you want to prepare extra and you want to, practice more questions, practice paid questions, you can do it from prepinsta.com as well. You can check out this website and we have everything in details mentioned here for you. So yes, you have 2 websites in your hand with just a very minimal amount. So yes, now let's again now move ahead with our questions. Okay, so Out of the four alternatives, choose the one which best expresses the opposite meaning of the given word. So this is a kind of an antonym based question. All right. One word is given to you and four options, that is affability. Four options. Please pause the video, try to solve it, set a timer, and then we'll quickly move forward with the main answer. Okay, let's move forward now. Affability. All right. What does affability mean? Affability means friendship or kindness. All right. So, for two meanings, friendship or kindness, we have four words. Let's quickly get through all of the meanings of these words. First is hostility. This means enemy or disregard. Next, we have kindness. You know what kindness means. It is being kind and passionate and helpful, right? Being kind. Cordiality. Cordiality means again being kind and helpful. And we have camaraderie. Which again means to have a fellowship. Fellowship means a good friendship or a good compassionate relation. All right. So we have four words. Now it is asking us about an antonym, opposite word. So the antonym of affability can be hostility, because where affability means friendship or kindness, all the three words, kindness, cordiality, and camaraderie, means the same. All right. They are good words. And only hostility is a negative word. So we are going to use hostility as an answer. Hence, option A is going to be our answer here. Okay, moving on. In the following question, an idiomatic expression or a proverb is highlighted. Select the alternative which best expresses its use in the sentence. So you have a sentence with an idiom used, and you have to choose an option that represents or reflects the meaning of that idiom. All right. So again, pause the video, try to solve it. We will quickly move ahead with the answer together. Excuse me. All right, let's move ahead now. They might try to lure you into their terms, but you need to stick to your guns in such an instance. All right, so it is talking about someone trying to lure you into something, but you need to stick to your guns in such an instance. So what does you need to stick to your guns mean? Does it mean desire to fight? Should you fight them? Wanting to give up? Refusing to change one's mind, or not convincing others? If you go by the term need to stick to your guns, it means you should not refuse to change your mind. All right. It means sticking to your terms, or not being convinced by others, or taking your stand, or sticking to your stand. All right. So you need to stick to your guns means you need to hold on to your principles. You will not change your mind. All right. So out of all the options, we can say that option C is correct, as it says refusing to change one's mind. That means to stick to your guns. All right. That means if someone tries to lure you into their terms, you will have to stick to your guns. You will not change your mind if that happens. All right. So option C is our answer. Okay. Next question. Identify the type of speech in the sentence below and convert it accordingly. So a speech conversion. The interviewer said, "Can you lead a team?" And she said, "Yes, I can." So you have a sentence and four options given to you. Please go through the options, try to solve it, and then we will again move ahead with the answer together. Okay, let's move ahead with the answer now, shall we? The interviewer said, "Can you lead a team?" Can you lead a team? And she said, "Yes, I can." So you have two direct terms given to you and you have to club them together to form into a single sentence. Let's see now. The interviewer asked her if she could lead a team and she said that she can. The entire sentence is correct, but if you go according to the rules, any modal verb, any auxiliary verb in the sentence in the direct speech changes its modal form in the indirect speech. So, can changes to could. Here in the first place, can has changed to could, but in the second place, it hasn't. So, it's wrong. The interviewer asked her if she could have led the team and she said that she can. First of all, this is wrong. Could have led the team. This means a probable conditional future tense form. Could have led the team. That could have happened, a conditional form. All right. We are not talking here about a conditional form, but a prominent question. So we cannot use could have led the team. Also, this form is wrong. It should have changed from can to could. So again, option B is wrong. The interviewer inquired her if she can lead a team and she said that she could. Here, this part has not changed its modal form. Again, this is wrong. The interviewers asked her if she could lead a team and she said that yes, she could. All right. So we have changed she, we have changed lead a team, could. She said yes, she could. Because we have the term yes, I can. So we have to use yes, she could. You can also write she said that she could, but she said that yes, she could is also correct. So we are going with option D over here as this is the correct form. All right, so option D is our answer. Okay, now we are coming across a reading comprehension question. Please read the passage, read the question, the options, understand what it is asking you, and then we will quickly solve it together. All right? Okay, let's start reading the passage first, the question, options, and then we'll solve it. During the Christian era, the ecclesiastic controlled the institution of education and diffused among the people the gospel of the Bible and religious teachings. They taught the poor people to be meek and to earn their bread with the sweat of their brow, while the priests and the landlords lived in luxury. During the Renaissance, education passed from the clutches of the priests into the hands of the prince. It became more secular. Thus, under the control of the monarch, education began to preach the infallibility of the monarch, which meant that the king could do no wrong. With the advent of the Industrial Revolution, education no longer remained the privilege of the baron class, but was thrown open to the new rich merchant class. The philosophy in vogue during this period was that of laissez-faire, restricting the function of the state to the merely keeping law and order, while in actual practice the law of the jungle prevailed in the form of free competition and the survival of the fittest. What can you infer from the passage above? So it is an inference-based question. Options are: education is very objective and should be taught only by the learned. Education is seen as a source of power by every group of people. Education is the right of the higher class of people. Education should only be preached in the form of laissez-faire to all. So first option, education is very objective and should be taught only by the learned. Do you think that the entire passage, excuse me, the entire passage talks about that only learned people are teaching? No. You don't know if they taught. Who are they? The religious preachers. Are they educated enough? Are they learned enough? You don't know. Control of the monarch. Do you think the monarch is very learned or not? You don't know. It then goes into the hands of the prince. It goes into the hands of the landlords and everyone. Do you think that those people are very educated or very learned? We have no fact about that. So this cannot be inferred. Education is seen as a source of power by every group of people. Yes, in the entire passage, we can see that wherever education was taken into the hands of the controlling people, they wanted to use it as a power. First, the people who taught the poor people, they taught them to, earn their bread, while the priests and the landlords lived in luxury. So it's a power of the priests and the landlords over the poor people. Then it moved on to the clutches from the priest to the prince. Again, they showed their power as preaching the infallibility of the monarch. Again, they were powerful people. They wanted to impress their power, impose their power. Then it moved on with the Industrial Revolution. It moved on from baron class to rich merchant classes. Again, a power imposal, right? Philosophy of laissez-faire, which means restricting the state to merely law and order. In actual practice, the law of the jungle prevailed. Again, law of the jungle means only people who have good power and source can be there, like can survive, can, put the competition in front. So yes, education is seen as a source of power. Education is the right of the higher class of people. No, it can be, reaped by the poor people as well, because they are taught to be meek and earn their bread. Education should only be preached in the form of laissez-faire. No, it is not important that laissez-faire should only be the way of teaching, right? No. So out of all these options, we can see that option B should be the correct answer, because it says that education is seen as a source of power by every group of people, be it the priests, the landlords, the prince, the Industrial Revolution people, the baron, the merchants, everyone. They want to use education as a source of power to impose on the people below them. All right, so option B is the answer. Next, again, you have the same passage but a different question. Please go through the question and the options, and then we will quickly move forward with the actual answer. Okay, let's see the answer. Let's see the question first. In the last line of the passage, the phrase, the survival of the fittest is used. What does it imply? So we have the term survival of the fittest used over here. What does the term survival of the fittest mean? Does it mean option A, only people who are physically fit can survive? Does here fittest mean someone who is physically fit? No, it is a metaphorical saying. So it cannot be literal, right? So you cannot use fittest with physical form. So this is wrong. Option A is wrong. Option B, surviving is a game and only the best can win. Yes, we are talking about a competition, but surviving is not a game over here. Again, we are not talking about the literal term of the meaning survival or the fittest. We're talking about the metaphorical meaning, right? So it is not a game. During a competition, option C, during a competition, the survivors are the fittest one. Again, this is taking the fittest one as a physical being, form of fit. All right. So we are not taking the literal form. Again, not correct. Option D, only those who can adjust and adapt to situation can survive and win. Yes. What does here fittest mean? Fittest mean who can fit into the given environment, who can fit into the given situation. All right. Only the people who have the capacity to adjust and adapt to the prevailing situation, only they are the ones who can win. What is the situation over here? It is the situation of law of the jungle. What is the law of the jungle? It means that it is going to be spread across everyone, and only the people who are fit for it can win, who can adapt to the prevailing situation. Only they can win, or they can survive in the longer run. All right. So option D should be the answer. Only those who can adjust and adapt to situations can survive and win. Hence, we can say that option D should be the correct answer. All right. Okay. So we have come towards the end of all the 10 questions. These were questions that we tried to solve it together based on the Cognizant Gen Z syllabus. So again, if you're not following us on our social media handles, do follow us on Instagram, Discord, Facebook, WhatsApp, and Telegram, because we keep posting regular updates. And if you don't want to miss any opportunity of being placed in your dream company right now, you should follow us on all social media handles. On Discord, we are running live classes and live quizzes and personal interaction. So if you want to interact with us more, you can join us on Discord as well. All right. So next, there is a quick short teaser on Prep Insta Prime, which shows you how we have worked together as a team and worked so hard to bring to you such a blockbuster product. So yes, please wait, watch the entire teaser, and then thank you. And we'll meet together for next set of questions on some other company.